Awesome. Yay. Okay. Okay. Hey guys, this is Sarah Elena, and welcome to the channel. So if you're new here, well, we talk a lot about moving to Costa Rica and moving to Panama. And today I have a very special guest. This is Ricardo with DENFAB Law, and he's going to be talking to us about the different residency categories or also, visas that are offered here in Panama. Because things always seem to change, or there definitely seems to become some confusion online. I always see a lot of misinformation. So first of all, thanks for being here and thanks for meeting with me on this.
Thank you for having me.
And yeah, I'm excited we would love to just, explain it all to me as if I'm a dummy. I'm coming, I've never been, I'm just thinking about Panama, and I want to know, what are my major options, here if I really want to become, a resident.
Okay, so first let me introduce myself. My name is Ricardo Faraudo. I'm a founding partner in DENFAB Law. It's a law firm here in Panama. We've been doing this for over 20 years. Since we opened the law firm, we've been, pretty much working with foreigners coming to Panama to retire, invest, move. So it's my area of specialty. We also have a YouTube channel. You can find us in DENFAB Law. We have some videos there that are very informative also on the visas. Okay, so overall, Panama has several options to obtain residency. Pretty much, I feel that if you want to obtain residency in Panama, we can help you one way or another. The first, or let's say like the top two choices, or the top two, best products, I would say, are the Pensionado visa, which is a visa meant for retirement, but anybody who is receiving a pension, a monthly pension of $1,000 or more, plus $250 per dependent for the remainder of their life qualifies. So this could be, for example, Social Security, it could be a military pension, it could be government pension, state pension. There's also disability pensions.
Mm-hmm.
Any of those work. You can also do annuities. Also, sometimes, those are not that practical from what I've seen in experience. And generally, clients that can do an annuity will probably choose another option before doing the annuity, but you can do annuities. So the good thing about the Pensionado visa is the application fees are quite low. You get an indefinite residency on the first application. And once you do, you also get the discounts that Panama provides to our own retiree, which are pretty good. You get 20% discount on restaurants, 20% discount on traveling and accommodation, hotels, 20% discount on medicine.
That's awesome.
Yeah, on the electric bill. There's a list of discounts. You can buy a car every 2 years without the import duties, or bring a car without.
Really?
You can.
Oh my gosh, this is awesome.
There's a lot of benefits. So the Pensionado is a great product. Now, of course, depending on your age and the demographic, not everyone fits in that. But my clients, when we do our initial meeting, if you have or qualify for that, I immediately say, okay, we need to look no further. That's the option that I'm recommending. If you don't qualify for the Pensionado, then Panama has a pretty recent new residency law. It's called the Qualified Investor Visa. Internationally, people also know it as the Golden Visa. We also call it the Red Carpet Visa. Mm. So if you hear any of the three, it's the same one. This one is pretty interesting because initially they said that you could qualify for $500,000 in real estate, $500,000 in an investment account, or $750,000 in a time deposit of 5 years. But initially, they gave a discount of $200,000 for real estate. So for example, if you bought real estate for $300,000, you qualified for the visa. So ultimately, let's say it's $300,000 for real estate, $500,000 for the investment account, and $750,000 for the time deposit. So real estate makes a lot of sense. Then they did that for 2 years, but then they recently just extended that for another 2 years. And in the latest amendment, what they did is that they just said it was going to be reviewed after 2 years. And those 2 years are October 15th, 2026. So we still have over a year before it's reviewed. $300,000 for real estate is a really common amount for, apartments or properties. So clients that qualify for this visa, this is a great option. What they've done for this visa is they've given some advantages. So, for example, they've done like a particular office in the Ministry of Commerce for this visa application. So they have like a more VIP, like a better, like the director of that department, like we can contact and they help out. So it's more personalized a service for this visa. That's a great advantage. Another one is that you can apply without being in Panama.
Oh, I didn't know. Oh, that's cool.
That is really, really good because a lot of clients, they will come to Panama, get to know the country, go see real estate, and the classic thing is like the last day they'll call me like, oh, I'm reserving a unit. So they'll leave and we can do the rest, by email, power of attorneys, through FedEx. You can send me apostille documents and we can work not only for the real estate transaction, but then also for the residency application. Sometimes like maybe for you it's easy to travel, but when you have to think about your wife or the kids and their school schedule, that gets more complicated. So that's a really good advantage. The other big advantage is that it allows you to do pre-construction. So in all our other like real estate investment visas, you need to wait until the property is transferred, finished and transferred to your name or your corporation or your foundation, where in the golden visa, we can apply while it's in pre-construction. So what we do, like, literally what I see happen with my clients is they will come down here, they will find a pre-construction property, they will do a reservation, they will sign the promise of purchase agreement, and once they've paid the developer $300,000 or more, we can apply. We don't have to wait until the property has been transferred. And the visa allows for two different options. You can, like, for example, set up a local escrow, which is a fideicomiso, a trust, send the 300 to the escrow, and then the escrow pays the developer as the contract states. Or you can also pay the developer directly, which sometimes developers give like benefits like a discount or maybe some interest back on the prepayment amount. And then both work to be able to apply for the visa. So that's a really good benefit as well on this visa. And this visa, once you apply, they give you the indefinite residency in 30 business days.
Wow, so that's so fast.
Yeah, so pretty much like right now we're in August, like clients that are coming in right now could do the reservation, and by November, before the end of the year, we can have the indefinite residency and the cedula. So it is a really good product. And for my clients who qualify, it's what I recommend. Then if you don't qualify for A or B because you don't want to invest in real estate or that's not your budget, then the next tier that we have is the Friendly Nations visa. So the Friendly Nations visa was amended when they did the Golden visa and was reshaped. And now the Friendly Nations visa, you first apply for a 2-year temporary residency. So you do the application process, which is generally like 6 months. Then within the 6 months, they'll issue the 2-year residency. Then before the 2 years are up, we do a second application that also takes around 6 months, and you get the indefinite residency. So it's more or less like a 3-year process towards indefinite residency, but you have residency throughout. Okay. Now, one of the advantages of the Panamanian residency that I think is very important for clients to understand is that we really don't require you to be here for any specific amount of time through the process. So for clients that, just want to move to Panama, the Friendly Nations works fine. You can move, we can apply. You'll always have your residency. It works. And for clients that are thinking more like a plan B, just get this in case I need it in the future, it also works. You come here, you apply, you get the residency, you go back home. Then you just come in for the 2-year ID. Then you can leave for 2 years and you come in for the application 2 years later. And you do have to come to Panama 3-4 times throughout but you don't have to stay here more than a week at any time. So that also works. So it has a lot of flexibility. In the friendly nations, there's 3 ways to qualify. You can do it first with real estate for $200,000 or more. Now, in this, you do have to have the property in your name. So if you do pre-construction, you have to wait until the property is ready and transfer to you so we can apply. And the good thing on the Friendly Nations real estate option is they do allow financing. So to be clear, on the qualified investor visa, you need to bring at least $300,000 from outside of Panama to Panama. If you buy, for example, a property of $500,000, you can put $300 down and finance the rest. But you at least have to put $300,000. In the Friendly Nations visa, you can finance, as much as the bank will finance of the 200. So that's an advantage. Now, getting financing as a foreigner is also not the easiest thing, but it can be accomplished. So it's good that the law in itself allows it. Now, the second option is you can do a time deposit of 3 years or more for $200,000. The good thing, Panama does not charge on interest paid on time deposits. So you can do with interest as you like. And the money is tied up for 3 years and you do your residency application.
What's the interest usually like on that?
Well, it depends on the market. It's more or less similar to whatever the U.S. is paying. I mean, right now, let's just say around 5%, somewhere there. But, the banks here, they raise and lower depending on the market, on the U.S. market, basically. So right now the rates are higher, so it's not a bad time to do that option. And when you do your time deposit, the rate is locked in. So even if they lower rates later, you have your rate locked in. And then the third option is through a work contract. So basically, if you have or set up a corporation and you are planning to do a business, make it operative, the corporation give you a work contract, and we can use that towards application as well. So that's another option. And in the Friendly Nations visa, overall, the clients get the opportunity to apply for a work permit as well. So to be clear, if you want to work in Panama as a foreign resident, you need a work permit. Under the Friendly Nations visa, the category type allows the main applicant to apply for a work permit, which is a separate process that is done in the Ministry of Labor. Also takes like 3 to 4 months. So a lot of people that are looking to work here locally can do a business that they're going to work in. They can do their work permit. And most of my clients really don't do that because most of my clients are working remotely, and they don't really need that, but it's good to have that option if needed.
Yeah.
So I would say those are the 3 main options. We also have another one that's excellent, which is a bilateral treaty with Italians.
So I heard about that yesterday, or I was talking to somebody about that.
It's actually a great option. Like I would put it in the top tier with the Pensionado and the qualified investor. If you are an Italian citizen, have an Italian passport, we can do the bilateral treaty. It's an application that you get an indefinite residency on the first application. And what we do need to set up a corporation to kind of, you have to show like your economic purpose. So we need to set up a corporation. We show that you're a shareholder in the board of directors. We set up a bank account where you have $5,000 or more. And with the Italian passport, we need a secondary ID from Italy, which some clients don't have, but sometimes they can get like a letter from the consulate saying that they're an Italian citizen, and that works. We work on that depending on the client, but it's a great option. It's a really good option. And the application fees on this one are also lowered, same as the Pensionado. So it's a really good option if for Italians.
That's interesting. What about, are there any residency options for someone, let's say if you have family, they get pregnant, they end up having a child here, or if someone moves to Panama, they end up meeting the love of their life, they get married, are those any kind of residency categories?
Okay, so first of all, I didn't touch on the topic of dependents. So the main applicant on any of these applications can include dependents. Who are dependents? A spouse is dependent, but the spouse, we do need a marriage certificate.
So no common law.
Well, common law doesn't give you a certificate.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So we need
common question.
Yeah, we need like a certificate issued by a government authority that says that you're married. Like if you can get that by common law, then fine. But from my experience, clients can't really get that. So and I'll marry clients here. Like if we can do a local, take them to a notary, you get this, do the marriage registration, no problem. But yeah, you need a marriage certificate to include a spouse. And then you can include children, dependents, under 18, as many as you have. And between 18 and 25, you can include as long as we show that they're single and that they're fully enrolled in a university. It could be abroad or in Panama. And you can also include parents. So for example, the main applicant can include father and mother perfectly without a problem. Okay, so that is, I think, this is common on any type of residency for the main applicant. All right. Now, your question, if you've already done the residency and you're here and you're going to get married to a non-Panamanian, let's say, then you can always include later a process called dependence of residence. So if you're a resident already, you can later always add dependents, such as a spouse or parents or children. If let's say you didn't add them initially or you got married later, you can always do dependence of residence. That process is similar to the friendly nations. We first apply for a 2-year temporary residency, and then after 2 years, we apply for the indefinite. Now, if you did the process, you're living in Panama, and you have a child, and is born in Panama, that child's going to be Panamanian immediately. So you don't need to do a process. I have clients that they go back home to give birth, then we do need to do the process.
Makes sense.
Okay.
And then you mentioned that there was an extra amount under the Pensionado visa per dependent. You said it's $1,000 US for month plus extra
$250.
So if I'm somehow I work with a lot of retired military that have a lifelong pension. So, they might be in their 30s or 40s. They might have
a lot of
had a kid.
It's a lot of my clients are retired military. So you add $250 per dependent.
So if I have a wife and 2 kids, it's $1,000 plus.
That would be
$2,000.
$1,750.
Oh, my math isn't very good.
Well, it's $250, $750.
Oh yeah,
for a wife and 2 kids. 3 kids would be $2,000. Just keep putting $250 on top.
Yeah, I got times it by 4. Okay, so it'd be $1,750. Okay, that's interesting. And then what about
another interesting thing that I didn't mention is on the Pensionado, you can combine pensions. So for example, let's say if you have a married couple and the man receives $1,000 and the wife receives $500, you can combine them, and then altogether it's $1,500. That's also perfectly fine.
That's amazing. That's really great, because some other countries you definitely can't combine pensions.
Yeah.
Or do any of that. I had some other questions here. Did you have more information you want to tell me, or can I ask a few questions?
Please ask away. I think I mentioned more or less
those were great. I mean, great information. Okay, I'm wondering about the wait time. So you said 30 days for the one, 6 months for the other. Have they been pretty consistent in Panama in general, or is there times where you're like, oh my gosh, immigration's really backed up, it's a wait time of a year, or things are moving along, they hired more people, it's 3 months now?
Okay, so, and I'll give you back like 20 years of doing this. I would say immigration is pretty consistent.
Okay, that's good.
First of all, there was a moment in time, like when they changed immigration law, like 15 years ago, that there was a huge rush and processes were more on the slower side, which is the 6 months. They give you 6 months. When you apply, they give you a 6-month ID because the process will not take longer than 6 months.
It's incredible.
There's actually, something in the law that they put that if it takes more than 6 months without them issuing like a notice, like they can, during the process, like a notice, like let's say one of the documents for some reason is insufficient or they want clarification or you to replace it, they give you a notice and you have X amount of time to do it. But if they don't give you a notice and it takes more than 6 months, you're automatically accepted or approved.
That's incredible. Okay.
So,
wow.
So overall, it takes less than 6 months. The reality is, I always say it's like between 3 and 4 months. 4 months would be like the medium, I would say. And they're pretty consistent on that. And we don't have really like, I've heard in other countries in Latin America and all that, like they close for Christmas or they close on the holidays. We don't really close like for a certain amount of time. Like we close on the holiday days, but not like, oh, immigration is closed for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So that doesn't happen here. So I would say they're pretty consistent. On the qualified investor visa, it's 30 business days. So it's more like 2 months.
Okay. Man, that's really interesting. I mean, as you know, a lot of people watch the channel. Obviously, I live in Costa Rica, so go ahead and check out the Costa Rica residency video that I've done because the information is going to be a lot different. Now, Panama does sound more attractive in the wait times and the categories. That I see some of the differences in being able to combine the pensions. That's something that you can't do, the different types. Sometimes you guys have a very flexible option for people that may not qualify for some. Or you mentioned in a conversation that maybe some people just aren't ready to invest or they don't want to put their money somewhere for all that time or tie it up. So there is kind of that extra
It's very
option.
normal. I have a lot of clients who tell me, my country, things are weird. I, just want to check it out, but I don't know. I have small kids who want to see and just go with the flow, So there are ways to get them residency and let them, do it everything at their own course,
Exactly.
But I can't say really that Panama right now seems to be like, I meet with clients all the time. This is a market. They check out all the options. And right now, Panama is hitting like all the boxes of what people are doing. And particularly for people who can work remotely, but do need to travel since Panama is an airline hub, has direct flights everywhere. We use the dollar here. We have apparently great internet, is what I've been told. So that's important. And clean water, which sometimes people don't consider how important it is that you can drink tap water here, and just many other things. But overall, Panama is a really good option.
Yeah. I guess thinking about that too, do you do digital nomad visa filings? Or do you ever
Not too much
that?
Because not at all, really. We do have a digital nomad visa. I would say it's not really a great product. You get like 9 months and then you have to renew for another 9 months. You can't include dependents.
You cannot.
You cannot. And overall, for those clients that are considering a digital nomad visa, it's just probably a lot better to do the Friendly Nations under the work contract. You get a 2-year temporary residency. You get 2 years instead of 9, and then another process. You are on a process that leads to an indefinite residency.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I guess my last question would be, through any of these, residencies, is there any pathway to citizenship? Because sometimes I do meet people, and I used to work for a tax company back in the day, and people are like, I'm going to renounce my U.S. citizenship. So do any of these have pathways to citizenship? Because I often do have to explain to people the difference between residency. They're like, I want to get the Pensionado citizenship. I'm like, hold up. You're not becoming a citizen. So do any of these lead to citizenship?
All of them.
They do. Okay.
I mean, here in Panama, basically in the Constitution, after you get indefinite residency, 5 years later, you can apply for citizenship. It's like a right in the Constitution. We have some bilateral treaties with certain countries like Spain, Colombia, where you don't have to wait the 5 years. You can do it after 2 years. So there are some exceptions. Generally, it's 5 years. Now, the reality on that is that for people who are living in Panama and have established and made Panama their home, this is a reality. But for people who got the residency, don't really live in Panama, it's just like, I have 5 years, they're probably going to be denied. They do check how many months you spend in the year. They check your ties to Panama, like see if you have a car, where your income is. They ask for 2 years of tax declaration. So they kind of see if you are a person who's been most of the year in Panama, living in Panama, working in Panama, you have your car, you have your place, bank account, etc., we can do the process and you can get the citizenship.
Yeah. In most cases, other than I guess the person having a passport, if they really wanted to renounce their citizenship in their home country for some reason, is there any real benefit for people to even like pursue citizenship?
Well, I do
Or they-
think so. I mean, a second or third passport is like priceless.
Okay.
For me, who
Mhm.
I do this for a living, I do think so. I mean, you know, the world sometimes can change on a dime, and you know how if you really don't want to live in your country, you have like I have clients that are like, oh, I'm from this country, I haven't even been there in 20 years, but that's my only passport. So if for some reason the country wants to squeeze you in one way or another, they can do so by the passport, or not renew the passport, or you know, I've seen it with Venezuela. You know, it's like there's always a passport problem. Oh, the machine's broken. We're not doing passports anymore. You know what I mean? Like, so it can become a problem. It can become an issue. Having another passport is an advantage. So if you are actually of the market that you're not good, you're going to move to Panama. You're going to make Panama at least your base. You can definitely get the passport, and it would be worth it.
Cool. I always like to get people's opinion on this. And I guess the last thing, I want to be respectful of your time, and I appreciate, you know, all this information, and I hope you guys are finding this helpful too. I mean, I've learned a lot. Well, what do you like about living in Panama City? And like, what do you like about Panama? What do you like about living in Panama City? Like, what advice maybe would you have for someone who's really exploring the country?
All right, I don't want to bash San Jose, but for me, San Jose
okay.
it's a town, and Panama City is a nice city. So
it's nice here, guys.
I guess I think most people when they go to Costa Rica, they go to the beach areas that are very developed, etc. Here in Panama, you can actually move to Panama City, where Panama City is. You know, I don't know what's your impression of it, but it's very like
I like it.
You know, it's not too big. Like you can move around in Uber everywhere, but yeah, we have really great restaurants. It's a nice city. It has everything you would want in a city without it being like, you know, overly massive. But then Panama is a small country, and you have great access to virgin beaches, you know, rainforests, mountains. So it's very easy to go to the interior of the country, and just there's a lot to explore and get to see. So I really like it. I think Panama is a great place to live.
I think so too. I mean, I'm enjoying it. I love the city. I like to stay in like I'm staying in Casco Viejo right now.
So Casco is very nice.
Antique parts. Today I'm going to be exploring some neighborhoods, El Cangrejo, Marbella, just kind of even around these areas. So probably do some walking around.
A lot of my clients love Costa del Este. Costa del Este is a very nice area.
It's on my list.
If you'll see, we don't have the electric cables like out in that area. All the sidewalks are nice and work. And there's several international schools in Costa del Este. You have a lot of multinational companies based in Costa del Este. So it's a very diverse area of people. It has a lot of restaurants. It's very walkable. It's very nice. So, for example, I have a lot of clients who just come, let's say, get an apartment in Costa del Este, and they're telling me like, wait, this is unbelievable. I used to do a commute. I'm from Texas. I used to drive like an hour and a half to work and back. And here is like, I walk down a block. I take my kid like one block to school. And then the football, soccer activity in the afternoon is like 2 blocks away. And I just, you know, do all these things. I don't even have to leave Costa del Este. So it's a game changer for a lot of people.
That's cool. All right, one last question. Sorry, I'm always full of questions. Now, brought up something else. What are the main demographics that you see that are people that are moving here and settling kind of long term? Not, I mean, I understand some people come down and they make an investment, they're back and forth. But your long term people that are like primarily year round. Yeah. What demographics do you see?
Okay, so I would say first you have people who are pensionados. So military, a lot of military people who are receiving Social Security. Or any type of pension. So let's say, you know, militaries can be young actually, but let's say overall over 40 demographic, maybe over 50, who just say, you know what, I don't want to live in the US or Canada. You know, I think retirement in Florida went out the board decades ago, but like, and they're very interested in Panama City. A lot of people like Boquete. Boquete is a beautiful place. A lot of people go to Boquete. But sometimes I always say, you know, you can just live in the city, and since you're retired, you can go to Boquete for a week or 2 if you want, and then come back, you know. So that's a demographic, and my clients love it. I have a client who writes me every week, like, I can't believe this restaurant's so good. Like he does, like, he writes me every time he goes to an amazing restaurant. Because the restaurants,
they're good.
They've gotten really good. We have a really good restaurant.
Oh yeah, I went to a really good one last night. And then I went to Lo Que Hay. I went to that
Lo Que Hay.
one. It's really good. And then I went to the La Pulperia
Okay.
in San Francisco.
Yeah.
Last night. Really good.
That's a good place for drinks, apparently, too.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a demographic. Now I have a lot younger demographic as well. Let's say mid 30s, mid 40s, married with kids, young kids, US, Canadian mainly, who just have the capacity of work remotely. Also some European, and just say, you know what, I don't want to put my kids in this school system or this mindset or whatever. I just, I've had it with this and I don't want to, and I can work from anywhere. Or Panama is just so much more affordable than the US right now.
Yeah.
It used to be a time where it's like, oh, Panama's so expensive. Not anymore. Like, not compared to the US. So they come here. I think they have more quality of life. And we have direct flights, Miami, Chicago, New York, Boston, Toronto, Montreal. So depending on where they're at, they can, if they need to go, they do the travel, they come back. So that's a demographic that's growing a lot, I would say. And the feedback on my clients who've done that move, they're very happy. Very happy. And then you have another demographic that is doing it mainly for taxes. That's not so much US. That's more probably Canadian, European, that, they spend X amount of time out of the year here, then they do 3 months here, 3 months here, and they settle Panama as their base. They can work from anywhere. You declare taxes here. We have no income. It's territorial tax, so we only charge the taxes on local income, not on foreign income.
Yeah.
So basically, you can make Panama declare taxes, which I tell all my clients, like, you need to have a place where you declare. Because whenever you're going to open a bank account or whatever you're going to do, is like tax declarations. Oh, I don't have tax declarations because I live here and I work there and I don't. That was cool maybe 10 years ago, but now it's tax declaration is simple. You declare here in Panama. You don't have to pay taxes and you have the declarations to show. So that's a really good option as well. And we can also do, if you're the fiscal tax residency, which is a certificate of tax resident of Panama, that also helps clients a lot.
Oh, that's cool.
So that's another demographic.
Very cool. Well, man, thanks for all this information. I really appreciate it. Again, I want to be respectful of your time.
Of course.
And, guys, if you need more information, you can check the description down below. We'll have all of it down there. And, this is one of the providers that we work with here in Panama. So like in Costa Rica, I know my channel is very Costa Rica based, but you're going to see a lot more in Panama. We have our residency person. We have our insurance person. I have my car person. I've come down to Panama and made these connections, and Ricardo is my residency connection that I'm, very excited about and wanted to share him with you guys as well. And I'm excited to work together and help people live their best lives in Panama if that's what they decide.
I'm excited as well. It's thank you for doing the video.
All right. Well, thanks again, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Yay!
What do you think?
Awesome.
Came out good?
Yeah, that was awesome.
So, but where are you from originally?